Good morning, I'm Jacob Murphy. This is a News Center special report. Just hours after announcing missing teen Jamie Kloss had been found alive, apparently escaping her captor, authorities in Barron County, Wisconsin are set to address the media at any moment. Let's go live to Barron. Some answers in this case that's captivated the nation for 88 days, 3 months. Jamie Kloss is safe, and now we know the suspect involved that is in custody is 21-year-old Jake Patterson. We know right now the perimeter was set up initially at Simpson Road and 45th Street Southeast. This is a bit southeast of town, and I'm Jacob Murphy. For our forecast, it's almost like copy and paste, maybe a few changes from Wednesday. Ted's outside with those details. Well, the chaos that happened here in this neighborhood 2 nights ago is certainly considered violent. It may not be considered deadly. That's the latest from Rochester police, but still no arrests in this case besides that one in what will most likely be a long investigation. You're really someone I can look up to and not just literally. Our region's generosity is already on full display as we raise funds to help our friends that are dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Florence. The storm has left the headlines in some cases, but the aftermath is real, and the Red Cross is doing a lot to fix things. Their food will make you salivate, their humor will make you roll your eyes. It, of course, is time for Tailgating Tuesdays, another thrilling season upon us. That was a Thai chili meatball slider with lettuce, with bread. Either way, it's phenomenal. I'm Jacob Murphy. Some fabulous colors in that video. The only color we're seeing this morning is white. That's because the snow's still falling at this hour, Ted. A pair of Minnesota-based companies are making headlines for what will no longer be offered in their stores. Good luck buying a CD at Best Buy. A reminder, you at home, it's super easy. If you want to add on to that total, you can go to KTTC.com online or look at the numbers flashing across our screen this morning. We would love for you to be a part of our big family here as we work to fight and find a cure to cancer. It's Dairy Day at the Capitol in St. Paul, a chance for the industry to pitch their case to lawmakers, and that's a bigger deal than you might think. In Minnesota, there's a dairy cow for every 12 people in the state, and that leads to an impressive amount of milk. In fact, in the last decade, production has increased by 1.2 billion pounds, but the number of herds has dropped off 40%. Dairy farms are hurting, so I recently paid a visit to one in Olmsted County to see what local farmers are doing to stay afloat. It's just before 8 a.m. and the Tower View Dairy Farm is already humming along.
All in the family this morning.
75 cows, milked twice a day, every day, in a parlor built generations ago.
They have to be invited by name sometimes, so yeah, they're kind of spoiled.
Spoiled cows, but there's never any spoiled milk for the Sachs family.
We do take full pride in what we do day after day here.
Mom Carrie and Dad Charlie have owned the farm near Viola since 2002. They have deep dairy roots, but Carrie also spends her days at Mayo Clinic, working as a nurse in bone marrow transplant.
When prices on the farm are a little low, it does kind of help a little bit with some of the bills and stuff that are around here too.
Added income and insurance help keep the family focused on the animals during a tough few years for dairy.
It is hard, and you have to know what you're doing. You got to have a game plan. You got to have your cash flow. You know, you have to ride with the market.
Right now, riding the market means facing incredibly low milk prices. Last month, the U of M's annual farm report found many Minnesota dairy farmers are operating at a loss, losing up to $2 per 100 pounds sold.
It does go in waves, and we know it's going to improve.
Better fortunes would mean a better life for the next generation.
We look at our kids who are so involved in the dairy that want to keep this going, and we truly do it for them.
Hey, come here. Come here, Seiji. My friends at school are always like, Anna, what are you doing tonight? Chores. What are you doing tomorrow? Chores. What are you doing in 2 months? Chores.
But don't take that as a complaint, because for Anna, this farm is her happy place.
They understand you more than people do sometimes. They're all just really sweet animals that care for you.
She's a senior at Dover Iota High School, set to graduate this spring. And last month, she was crowned one of Olmsted County's dairy princesses.
We give dairy farmers hope for a better tomorrow. We're all about spreading what we believe in and sharing our story. That's also spreading the farmer's story from their perspective, because they can't always be out there sharing their story. They're at home doing chores.
These ambassadors make the rounds at summer festivals and parades. Fellow Princess Amy Kylo uses the role as a reminder of the people and animals behind the milk at the store.
I see a lot of people don't know where their food comes from, and I want to be a face that people can see that I'm a farmer.
Some farmers see consumer education as a way to boost the industry.
The milk markets have changed. People eat more cheese and yogurt. Fluid milk is down, has been for years.
Through market changes and life changes, like starting college in the fall, the cows remain a constant.
Dairy farm is kind of that little light that I have left because I know it's going to be there when I come home. The cows are always going to be there. The memories of the cows will always be there.
While stories of farms shutting down might haunt each farm family, an enduring spirit to see another sunrise keeps the Sacks optimistic.
My heart goes out to them because I would hate to sell all my cows. That would be really a hard thing to do after you've worked so hard. We do hope to keep pushing on. Yep, we do.
Pushing on with this in mind.
Farming comes from your heart. It's not from your pocketbook.
Better news for dairy farmers may be found in Washington, where a federal margin protection program was just strengthened by this year's budget bill, giving farms that opt into the service a potential safety net when milk prices fall below operating costs. But a true rebound in the market will be needed to let these farmers breathe easier. Reporting in the studio, Jacob Murphey, KTTC News Center.
Welcome to 19th Century Frontenac. Many people have fallen in love with Frontenac and its ambiance. Walking past the spacious green lawns.
This story begins where other stories end, the cemetery, just a bit up the road from the shore.
Israel Gerard came here in 1854 and visited the village and had the vision and the financial means to create and have the village platted.
Local historian Lori Winland tells the tale of the village founder at his newly scrubbed headstone as she and others lead a new crusade.
It's a beautiful view.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see both upriver and downriver.
Now we've moved to Frontenac Point, at one time a landing spot for settlers looking for new opportunity.
Great hopes of owning their own land. They had a promise of a lot in the village to build the village.
And a village they built, from fur trapping to farming to recreation.
It was very large because this is where they spent their time on their rocking chairs.
What started as a warehouse transformed into the Lakeside Hotel in 1868, a three-story lodge with an unbeatable view. Bill Fleece has spent 3 decades transforming the structure as old as Minnesota itself.
We held up the 3rd floor. We cut out the 2nd floor walls and lowered it down, making it a 2-story.
Years of renovation to turn what at last use was a summer camp base into a 4,000 square foot home for his family.
I came to camp here in 1951 and I fell in love with the area. And when I had a chance to buy it in 1986, I wanted to restore it to what I remembered it to be.
The old hotel is the last of several projects he's led over the years, restored homes that now house Mayo Clinic doctors, among others, looking for a piece of Lake Pepin.
Frontenac, a small village that averaged 140 residents in the 19th century, retains its character with only 280.
Our story continues with a quick drive past sparkling white homesteads and beautiful green lawns. Our next destination, Christ Church Episcopal, founded by a Civil War general, it too undergoing a makeover in time for its 150th anniversary this year. Reverend Steve Geen tells me a 7-year fundraising campaign and countless hours of help by parishioners have this church looking angelic.
The floor sways.
Yeah.
So he put blocks underneath them, different blocks for different heights, so that the top of the pews would be all the same level.
Every wrinkle of time ironed out in time for the first service in the renovated chapel this weekend. Back at the cemetery, I asked Lori why she fell in love with Old Frontenac and its history.
We don't have any retail. We don't have any sidewalks. We walk on gravel roads. We don't have any street lights, so we enjoy dark skies.
That love turned into a 5-year research project and the publishing of 2 books this year, records uncovered and a past preserved.
I hope that it maintains that ambiance, but it takes work. It's not something that comes easily. It'll take future generations to take an interest in the history, to want to maintain it.
For now, this story ends with an invitation.
My wish for you, the reader, is that after you have read this book, you will stroll through Frontenac and feel as connected to these pioneers as I do. Enjoy the journey.
In Old Frontenac, Jacob Murphey, KTTC News Center.